Hey, Helen Smith with this episode of The Briefing. Today, we are talking about all things running, from run clubs to the tips and tricks to get you started or keep you going. And who better to have this chat with than Australian Athlete of the Year and World Champion sprinter Katie Williams. Let's get into it. Firstly, Katie, why running? What originally made you think running is going to be your career?
I don't actually think I chose it. I think that I was born with speed. And like when I was young, my mum would say to me, you would just sprint everywhere. Like I was walking at 9 months. She put me in gymnastics from like 2.5 onwards. And she was like, you were just a born sprinter. Like it was just in you. So I don't actually know if I picked it. I remember my mum asking me when I was about 6 years old whether or not I wanted to do little athletics or gymnastics because I was great at both. And I was like, obviously, athletics is my favorite. So I guess I did pick it, but like, I do think I was just born with speed, which is a blessing, but like,
It's a
it
blessing.
is a
Come on.
blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still have to train to like keep fit, but I think people are born with speed. You can improve it, definitely, but you can't completely teach it. It's definitely in your anatomy.
So it sounds like you were just a natural born athlete. So why do you
I did
think,
train a lot. I had to.
yeah. So why do you think that run clubs are becoming so popular right now?
I think run clubs are popular post COVID. I think during the pandemic, because we were locked down, people had to get creative. And running is a free and accessible activity that most people can do, whether you've got the grass, the beach, an oval near you or a running track or road running. It's accessible and it's near you. Plus, all the gyms were closed, so people had to get creative. Also, it's a recession. So I think now the rise in running, which I think is the best thing that's happened to us, is because people are spending less money and because of COVID. If there's one benefit from COVID, it's that people are running.
Definitely. So we've been seeing that millennials and Gen Z have really been into it. What role has social media played into these boom of run clubs?
Social media has played the biggest role. We wouldn't know how many people were running if it wasn't for TikTok and Instagram or Facebook for the millennials. I think now so many people are posting about running because there's such a big community movement and there's so much support. Like anyone that's learning to run or joining a run club is celebrated. And I think that is phenomenal. If you're out there and you're learning to run or you're wanting to run, start following people that are on the same journey as you. They can be beginners or advanced. It's inspiring to follow people that are doing something for themselves. And we can also learn off everyone on social media, obviously, if it's the right kind of content.
So, who would be some people you'd suggest to follow if you want to get into running, or some athletes like yourself that maybe might give some good tips or advice on social media?
My favorite person ever on social media for running and breath work is Rory Warnock, who's a mate of mine. Um, Anyone who's listening right now would probably know him for his breath work, but he does also a lot of running. I don't know how much running content he does on his page, but he talks about breath work and running in his stories. I think that's amazing. And to be honest, the Keep It Cleaner girls do a great job at posting like beginner workouts and that kind of stuff. And then I guess me as well. I'm starting to post a lot more running content because I'm dropping a running program soon as well.
Oh, I'll have to hear more about that
Yeah.
later. Um, so there is though this kind of widespread belief that running can be bad for us, particularly like stress on the knees and hips. Is this true?
Yes, it is true. And I was thinking about this question on the drive out here. Running is amazing for you. It's amazing for your cardiovascular system. It's amazing to build strength. It's amazing to clear your head. I mean, if you're a runner or anyone who's listening has experienced runner's high, it's a real thing. You get this massive rush of endorphins. But there is a level of precaution you need to take when learning to run or to do specific distances, particularly on the road. For me, I think it's really important to warm up, to cool down, to stretch, to get massage, to see a physio. You actually have to treat your body like you're an athlete when you're joining a run club or you're starting to run. if you're choosing distances that are particularly tough for you. If you haven't run 3K, 5K, or even 1K, you actually can't throw yourself into the deep end because when you run, you put a lot of load through your body. So as a sprinter, I know this to be true for sprinting, that it's 7 times your body weight when running goes through the ball of your foot, your ankles, your knees, and your hips. So the load starts at your feet and travels up your body. So if you're getting sore knees, maybe your IT bands are really tight and your body's not used to that load. If you're getting sore ankles, maybe you're not wearing good running shoes or maybe you need to replace them. So I love that everyone is running and getting into it, but you do need to prep your body, and you could prep your body by doing soft sand walks to strengthen your feet, to strengthen the ligaments in your
So, would
ankles.
this be some ways to prevent injuries from happening?
Definitely. If you're new to running or you're setting yourself a goal, like for me, running a half marathon is quite hard for me as a sprinter, but that's my next goal. I think you need to prep your body for running. And when I say prep your body, I love that everyone is out road running. I think that's amazing. But road running is very hard on the body. You need to make sure that you're running in really supportive shoes. I personally run in, I say Hoka, but they're actually called Hoka. I run in the Max 6s, I run in the Bondi 7s or the Bondi 8s, and also the Clifton 9s. That's just my personal choice. Anyone who's new to running should definitely go into a running store, get their foot assessed, check out the arch, check out if they pronate. They will be assessed by a professional who will give them a running shoe that suits their body. That's really important. Number one is the correct running shoes. Number two is you need to pick your terrain. So everyone is going for the hardest terrain known to man, which is concrete. Don't get me wrong, I love a road run. I love it. But my body, with 25 years of running, still struggles on the road. So if you're struggling with an injury or you're getting lots of soreness in your hips, joints, ankles, it's just because your body's not used to the load that you're putting through it. It's actually normal to have some soreness. You should not be in excruciating pain, definitely. But it is normal to have a few weeks of kind of like a bit achy, as long as it's not debilitating. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, you're the only one that can know that. Um, to get you prepped for running, you should definitely start off by doing grass running. This is really important. The road running is too much load if you've not run before. So running on
Mm.
the grass or like fake grass is amazing. Um, I was going to say running on the sand, but walking on the sand is better because it strengthens your ligaments in your ankles. It also strengthens all of the muscles in your feet because when you run, the muscles in your feet are copying it. It starts on your feet and it travels up your body. And the one more thing I'll say is if you're new to running, just do a little session with a physio first. Just get the physio to have a look at your running technique because they might say, hey, your knees are kind of buckling in when you're running, or you might need to strengthen your glutes. It's really important when running or beginning to run just to do an assessment to see how your body is. Because I see so many runners run past me and I think, oh my God, you're gonna tear your calf in a few weeks, or you're going to have an Achilles blow up. And I did the same thing when I started long distance running as a sprinter. I was bouncing, doing these long runs, bouncing. Like, that's not the right running technique for long runs. And I've had to really change my running technique so that I don't have calf issues and Achilles issues. So it's just these small little nuances that I think if you were to treat your body or treat running like you're preparing as an athlete, that's brilliant. Like your hydration, massage, myofascial release, sauna. Look at running and recovery as the same equal importance.
Yeah, those are great tips. I'm learning a lot too. But I also wanted to say on that, the nutrition side of it,
Yeah.
because I've been seeing a lot of videos on social media about running and yeah, buy these shoes, do this. But I haven't been seeing a lot of the nutrition side, which is so important for fueling your body if you are preparing for a 5, 10, or even like a marathon. How would you go about that?
Depending on your goal and depending on how many calories you're burning in those training sessions, will you need extra carbs? So for the long runs, like the halves and the marathons, you definitely need to carb load for those longer runs. And you also need to take gels. Gels are like those glucose packs. if you're doing shorter distances, say 5, 10K, I personally don't think you need to carb load. I think moderate carb is fine. Like say 50% of your daily calories could come from carbs. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just going to flag that. But when I prepare for a run, there's a few things that I do. In the days lead up, I'll make sure that I'm eating really whole foods. I actually don't take any pre-workout. The only pre-workout I have is coffee. Do not take magnesium on the running day because you will go to the bathroom and that's not what you want. So magnesium is amazing as a daily supplement to take for your muscle recovery. Magnesium is amazing. And it's really important to have adequate magnesium when you're training so you're not cramping and so your body is performing at its best. But do not take it the morning of a run because that is like the ultimate, like you will be going to the bathroom mid-run.
Okay.
I think it's really important to time your food. I don't like running on a full stomach, but if you are doing a long run, it is important that you are fueled. So when you eat carbohydrates, it's turned to glucose and the glucose goes into your muscles, is stored as glycogen, and that glycogen fuels your workout. So you definitely need carbohydrates. It's really important that you also have protein after your workout. So you can have it pre as well, but post is the most important. So for me, post run, the best thing that I like to do to easily digest the macronutrients is I'll do a protein smoothie, but I'll have oats in it and I'll have banana and I'll have peanut butter for good fats and protein powder. You can chuck in some hemp seeds as well. But I'm not a big believer in crazy supplementation. I actually don't supplement that much. The one thing that I think is really important is hydration. You can add Celtic salt into your water, or I really like Liquid IV. Liquid IV is a hydration drink. It's actually new to Australia. It's massive in America. It's the #1 hydration drink. And that's got heaps of vitamins and minerals, but it's also got all the electrolytes you need. So you think you're hydrating with water, but you actually need the minerals and the magnesium to help absorb it into your cells. So hydration would be the #1, and the correct fuel would be #2, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been seeing those Liquid IV ads
Yeah,
popping
they're
up
great.
everywhere. How about motivation? How do you stick with it? And if you want to be building up your distances, if you're just starting, you're getting there, but it's getting hard because it
Yeah.
does start to get harder as you build up. How do you stay motivated?
I'm going to go straight to the basics. I think #1 is buy some running gear because you just feel amazing when you've got new clothes, you feel good, you're comfortable. I think the biggest thing with running, particularly if you're running for say an hour or 45 minutes, it can get boring and things niggle away at you. So if you've got tights that are riding up your bum, or if you've got shoes that are uncomfortable, you want to make sure that you're running and you're feeling your hands free. Get a little running belt, put your phone in, create a playlist, get a running playlist, get headphones that are comfortable.
They don't
Get
slip out of your ear.
get a watch if you can. Obviously, these are things that are expensive. You don't have to do that much prep. The playlist is free, hopefully. But to set yourself up, because obviously you're not paying for a gym membership now, you're running. So I think investing in some good running gear is amazing that you're comfortable in. And listening to music that makes you feel good. I've got a few running playlists that have good beats that kind of keep me on track, and I'm not having to stop and skip songs. I've got my notifications off. I'm strictly focusing on that run. I think another way to be motivated is to run with someone. You can call it an accountability buddy or an accountability partner. You can also join a run club. That's an amazing way to have a community that you show up for. And also the biggest thing is to have a training schedule. It needs to be flexible. You don't need to create this training schedule and stick to every single day. You need to listen to your body and make sure that you're resting. But having a flexible schedule is important. Know the days that you're running. You can adjust those sessions if you need to, but also put in recovery as well, because you want to make sure that the adaptations in training they only happen in recovery. So if you're not recovering and having active rest days, you're actually not getting the adaptations.
And one last question.
Yeah.
Are run clubs the new dating app?
I love this. I love this so much. I wish that I wish that I knew this. Like, I actually met my partner at a party and we're engaged. So, but I think that meeting someone who is like-minded, who's healthy, who's interested in community and accountability, and wants to be in a supportive environment, how could you not want to meet someone at Run Club? Like you've got really similar, it seems like you've got really similar values if you're getting up on a, Friday morning at 6 a.m. to run with a bunch of people. So I think it's amazing. They need to create an app for it. That's what I say.
Well, that is it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and keep up to date with everything we do here at The Briefing. But also leave a comment below and let us know what you thought of this chat. I'm Sasha Barbagat. Catch you next time.